Welcome to another how to anime video. It's your boy Otaku Sinh. Here on this channel, we do our best to give our objective opinions about our favorite animes. So for this video, I just went and watched Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village in theaters. And the two things that I took away from this movie is one, the animation is totally badass. And two, we got to see Kanroji's butt. Jokes aside, the movie was basically the first hour is actually a recap, and then the second half is actually like the very first episode I think we're gonna see in April. So 1 hour recap, 1 hour of actual new content of the Swordsmith Village arc. Now I just want to say, I think a lot of people that criticize Demon Slayer, they criticize it for a simplistic story, but sometimes in certain animes that isn't what it's for. You know, I kind of feel like all the Spy Family people are probably about to attack me. Hey man, you've been criticizing Spy Family because of what? It's too much slice of life. Now there comes a balance. So for Demon Slayer, there is a legitimate actual story that everyone can follow. Being broad and simplistic is not necessarily a bad thing in Demon Slayer. So being able to watch something absolutely beautiful on the big screen, I think is worth it. Now guys, I actually watched it in theaters alone, like legitimately alone. I found like one of my theaters where no one was actually watching it at this time at like 8:30 p.m. There was no one there, so I was able to have my phone out. I was taking a little bit of notes here and there. But yeah, Demon Slayer, it's just absolutely beautiful, ufotable. It's like my favorite animation studio right now. I know a lot of people love Mappa and all that. They get all the very popular franchises. You know how ufotable brings out the newer Fate Stay Nights and how they do Demon Slayer. I mean, those are my favorite like visuals to watch for animation purposes. It just looks so damn good. So recap aside, the other thing that was super amazing about the movie is the best scene is absolutely the very beginning of the new content, and so it's right after the aftermath of the entertainment district arc. Sorry guys, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm going to talk about spoilers, so there you go. So the best thing about the movie is actually right at the very beginning, the upper moons died, right? And so Muzan, he brings together all the upper moons that are left and the infinite castle. So it happened at the end, close to the end, I think, of season 1, when he brought in all the lower moons in and just eviscerated them. This is kind of the same deal, but they stepped it up even more because it looked like, if you guys ever watched Doctor Strange, I know it was Marvel, but Doctor Strange, the movies, what is the Doctor Strange movies are known for? A lot of the trippy visuals. So man, it was just amazing to watch an anime look like that in the castle. It was just so on point. The voice acting was on point. The feel, the vibe of like the little lady playing the little musical instrument, it was just awesome, man. And the vibes were all there. You kind of feel that tension in that moment of holy crap, these are all the big dogs all in one area right now, and they're all kneeling to Muzan. What makes Muzan like an incredibly fearful, worthy, ultimate bad guy is just people's fear of him. As long as they make him scary, I think that is the purpose behind all that. But yeah, man, having all the upper moons come together was just really, really awesome to see. Yeah, I mean, right at the very beginning of the movie, once they got into the entertainment district arc of the recap, that is where they basically replayed the episode. They played episodes 10 and 11, and I think they might have cut out some stuff here and there. That was fine, because we're all there, we're knowing it's a recap, and we're just waiting basically to see the new content that we would have to wait another month to see. But being able to see the end of that Zui, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke fight, I mean, it looked incredible on the big screen, so that was not actually that big of a deal to me. But then again, guys, I was in theaters alone, so I had my phone out, so this is one of the things like I could doze off a little bit on certain boring scenes. So they actually played the backstories of Daki, who is Ume, and Gyutaro. So everything that was new in this movie, all the newer content in the movie, they basically covered chapters 98 to like 101 and a little bit of 102. I went back after the movie to reread those chapters and just the Infinite Castle again. I just have to mention the Infinite Castle because if you go to the movie theaters, those are the kind of scenes that enhance your experience. Those are the kind of scenes. I know I talked about Tensura. Like, I actually recommend people, you don't need to watch that in theaters. There might have been a couple scenes here and there that was okay. For Ufotable and Demon Slayer, that Infinite Castle scene, that would be the scene that I tell people, hey man, go for it if you just want to see that scene because it was freaking incredible. So yeah, manga chapters 98 to 101 and a little bit of 102 is what, you know, the new content or that episode in the movie covers. They did add a little bit of anime only scenes here and there, but as I went through the manga, they pretty much cover exactly what's in the manga. They might have added some more scenes to kind of make it a little bit longer, add a little bit of the beauty element to the story, to the anime. We got to see a little bit more of the village. We got to see Tanjiro. He was watching some blacksmith people, you know, actually make the weapons. And then he might have spent a little bit more extra time with Kanroji, which was kind of cool. So let's backtrack real quick. If you guys go out there in theaters to watch this movie, it starts off with the classic opening song, and then it just does like this music recap of all of season 1. They do the same thing with the Mugen Train arc, and then they go into the entertainment district arc. They actually have the actual voices, you know, instead of just being like a musical recap. And then they start episode 10, and then they start episode 11. Then they actually end up playing the credit to the end of the arc, so you kind of have time actually, if you guys want to go get some snacks or something like that, you have ample opportunity throughout the movie to take a bathroom break and stuff like that, because they play like the ending credits, and the credits are kind of long, you know. As the entertainment district arc is over, it goes directly into the new content, and that is when the Infinite Castle scene starts. It's decently long. You have Gyoko, who is Upper Moon 5, you have Hantengu, who is Upper Moon 4, and those two are actually more the boring, very typical kind of demons. The three most interesting ones of the Upper Moons, Upper Moon 3, Akiza, and we know who that is. He is through the eyes of, I think it's gonna go down as everyone's favorite Upper Moon, Akiza. He to me is the most relatable, and he has incredibly amazing scenes down the line. So Akiza to me, he's incredible, and then we're kind of seeing it through kind of his perspective. And then you have Upper Moon 2, who is Doma, and he has a very, very sinister background too, but he's like more of the playful one out of the bunch. And then we have Upper Moon 1, who is Kokushibo. I hope I'm saying that right. So Upper Moon 1, who is Kokushibo, and he's the one with the multiple eyes. And of course, you know, they hint at the guy, they try to connect all the stuff with Tanjiro, the guy with the long hair. So the Upper Moon 1, he looks like the guy that Tanjiro seen before, or Daki seen before, or Muzan seen before. So they're connecting the story around, giving a lot of hints of who this Upper Moon person could be. Right now, it is trying to tell you it is that guy. Who knows? So I don't want to spoil it for you guys. And there was just a lot of intense back and forth, and it's mainly between Akiza and Doma. Of course, with Muzan talking to all the Upper Moons, hey man, we gotta do something about this. You guys are getting killed, you guys are worthless. You know, you have that typical kind of scene, and it's better watched than me trying to, you know, butcher the scene. But yeah, a lot of Akiza, Doma back and forth. And you have Upper Moon 1 trying to show, hey man, there's a hierarchy here, right? There is a hierarchy. Those top 3 Upper Moons, they're incredible, very intense, and you guys are gonna love it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you're gonna love it. And right after that Infinite Castle scene is over, they go straight into a little bit of the past of the long-haired guy, the swordsman, the old swordsman that was fighting Muzan back in the day. So they do a little bit of hint of a backstory there, and it just goes into Tanjiro waking up. And then here you have pretty much that just starts off the rest of the arc of all the newer content. This is where things are slow, right? There's no fighting it. It's the beginning of the arc. So really what sets it off is the tone of the Infinite Castle, because Gyoko, he has some information, right? He has some information. They're basically hinting at, hey, you know, the whole arc is called the Swordsmith village arc. So obviously it is a hidden village. So he probably has information on this village, and it just goes through all these scenes, and then you kind of get everything that if you guys read the manga, they basically cover what's in the manga with a few extra scenes. It looks beautiful. And then you have the reintroduction, I guess, of Kanroji. She has some cool scenes in there. I think a lot of people are gonna like Kanroji. And then at the very end, it just ends with Tanjiro running into Tokito. But there is one important difference in the movie that they changed a little bit that wasn't in the manga. In the manga, Tanjiro just finds Tokito at the end, but in the movie, he finds Tokito talking to this guy. The reason why he's like in this like woods, this village, is, you know, Kanroji was hinting at Tanjiro, like, you know, there's a special power or whatever in this village. Hey, Tanjiro, go find it, right? So he goes off to find it, and that is where he finds Tokito with this other guy. So Tokito's going through this back and forth with this other kid or whatever. But what they added, what was new, is that swordsman, that dream that Tanjiro had, where it was the long-haired swordsman that they've been hinting that all this time, that the dude that fought Muzan way back in the day, they actually use him, like Tanjiro actually ends up seeing him. So that was not in the manga. So you have to end the movie on some kind of cliffhanger or whatever, right? And to end it the way that the manga is, as is, it's not really a cliffhanger because it's the beginning of the arc still, right? There's only like a few chapters in the new arc. So they had to add something that gives you a sense of cliffhanger, and that is basically where it ends. And then you have the new opening song. The new opening song, I don't think it's as good as the first two opening songs, but it's okay. But you get to see all this new beautiful animation, so that was really cool. And then you had the ending credits, and that was it. So basically, guys, the question is pretty much, is it worth it to go to the movie theaters to watch 1 hour recap and watch 1 hour of new content that you could just wait a month for? And in my opinion, if you're like a really big fan of just seeing things on the big screen, I think Demon Slayer looks incredible on the big screen. It looks really amazing, and I think the Infinite Castle scene is very representative of why you should go to the movie. But if you don't care too much about it and you don't want to spend 10 to 12 bucks and you get snacks and stuff, you're paying like 20 bucks, right? It's not worth it in that aspect, because you're going to be able to see it like later. But you could say that with any movie, right? So you determine yourself whether or not, 12 bucks is worth it to you. 10 to 12 bucks. To me, it was worth it. I want to see it early. Plus, I really like Demon Slayer. I liked seeing it on the big screen, so I think it was worth it. I would love it if, more animes kind of do this. I want to see these things on the big screen. I want to see my favorite animes on the big screen. But of course, with this, it feels like, are you going to be getting your money's worth? To me, I think obviously it wasn't Mugen Train money's worth, but you don't have to see it. You don't have to see it, right? But if you want to see the fights, the end of the arc of the Entertainment District arc, then it could be worth it to you. And then to see all that new content a month early, it's just something for you to determine. But I think for me, as a working adult, you have a little bit of money to blow. It was worth it for me. So yeah, guys, overall, what was great about this movie? It was the Infinite Castle scene in Kanroji's butt. Just kidding, but not really. It was good. It was good. It was just nice to see, a lot of the cool animations on the big screen. So yeah, guys, let me know if you guys are gonna go watch this movie. Let me know if you guys already watched it. What did you think about it? I would love to know what you guys think. All right, and before I leave, do me a favor, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusin.com. Check out my anime figure channel, Otakusin, as well. And I do live streams on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central. If you guys want to get involved in the live streams and want me to take a look at certain anime figures, join the Discord. It's in the description below. It's your boy, Otakusin. And here on this channel, we give our objective opinions about our favorite animes. Appreciate it once again that you guys watched the video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.